Science for Quarter 2, Week 4. Matatag Curriculum. Learning Competency. The learners use a drawing or diagram to classify some Philippine animals and plants based on their habitat. Some live on land, terrestrial, live in water, aquatic, or fly in the air, aerial. For Day 1. Directions. Provide 5 examples of plants with taproots and 5 examples of plants with fibrous roots. Here are the possible answers. For taproot, we have carrot, radish, dandelion, beetroot, and turnip. And for fibrous root, we have wheat, grass, rice, corn, and onion. Answer the following questions. What are your favorite animals? What is the most amazing plant you know? Where do they live? Where can you find them? Why do they live there? Let's talk about plants and animals and their habitats. Plants and animals exist in various environments, known as habitats, which provide them with the necessary conditions for survival, including food, shelter, and breeding grounds. We have terrestrial habitat. Terrestrial habitats are land-based environments where plants and animals thrive. It could be forest, desert, mountain, and grassland. We have types of terrestrial habitats. These can include forest, grasslands, deserts, mountains, and tundra. Each type has unique climate conditions, vegetation, and animal species. Climate influence. The climate or temperature, rainfall, and seasonal changes greatly influences the types of plants and animals found in these habitats. For instance, deserts have drought-resistant plants, while rainforests have dense vegetation and high biodiversity. Examples of terrestrial habitats. We have forest. It is a home to a variety of trees, shrubs, and animals like deer, birds, and insects. Grasslands, characterized by grasses and few trees, inhabited by animals such as bison, prairie dogs, and various bird species. Next is aquatic habitat. Aquatic habitats are environments that are primarily water-based, including oceans, rivers, lakes, and wetlands. We have types of aquatic habitats. These can be classified into freshwater habitats. We have lakes, rivers, ponds, and saltwater habitats. We have oceans and seas. Oxygen availability. Oxygen levels can vary significantly in water, affecting the types of organisms that can live there. Aquatic plants, like algae and water lilies, produce oxygen through photosynthesis, which is essential for fish and other aquatic animals. Examples of aquatic habitats. We have fresh water. It is a home to species like frogs, fish, like trout, and aquatic plants like cattails. Marine includes diverse ecosystems like coral reefs. It is a home to colorful fish and corals, and deep sea environments where unique species like squids and deep sea fish reside. Next is we have aerial habitat. Aerial habitats refer to environments found in the air, primarily utilized by birds and flying insects. Types of aerial habitats. These include the atmosphere above, various terrestrial and aquatic environments, often characterized by air currents and varying altitudes. And varying altitudes. Adaptations for flight. Animals in aerial habitats such as birds, bats, and insects have specialized adaptations for flight, including lightweight bodies, wings, and keen eyesight for navigation. Examples of aerial habitats. Birds. Many species like eagles, sparrows, and hummingbirds depend on aerial habitats for aging, migration, and nesting. Insects. Species like butterflies and bees are vital for pollination and can be found in various terrestrial habitats but spend considerable time in the air. Directions: classify the following animals in accordance to their habitats. We have tamaraw, eagle, horse, grass, cat, seaweed, water lily, banana tree, green moss, bird, bamboo, bromeliads, milkfish, crocodile, corn, orchids, mango tree, turtle, lotus, and tertiary. You will identify if they are categorized into land, water, or air. Okay, let us now check. So here are the correct answers. For land, we have tamaraw, banana tree, corn, horse, orchids, grass, mango tree, cat, bamboo, and tarsier. For water, we have water lily, turtle, seaweed, lotus, and milkfish. And for air, we have eagle and bird. Identify the animals and plants if they are terrestrial or non-terrestrial. For plants and animals, we have bamboo, alligator, deer, piranha, coral, lichen, shrimp, jellyfish, ostrich, shark, kelp, monkey, duck, polar bear, grass, clams, sea anemone, horse, frog, cactus, camel, octopus, phytoplankton, snake, and water lily. For day 2, answer the following questions. How can we group the animals and plants you all mentioned based on where they live? You're right, the animals and plants can be grouped based on their habitats. Why do we need to classify plants and animals based on the place where they live? Exactly. We classify plants and animals based on where they live to understand their habitats, adaptabilities, and the ecosystems they depend on. Instructions: your class will be divided into small groups of 4 to 5 students each. Each group will be assigned with one of the terrestrial habitats. It could be forest, grassland, desert, or mountains. Each group will be provided with a large poster or drawing of your assigned habitat and a set of pictures of animals and plants commonly found in terrestrial habitats. Pictures are shuffled so that each group receives a mix of species. Present your classification to the class. During presentation, you should explain why you made those choices. You can use markers and labels to identify and describe each species. Engage with your peers and explain your reasoning clearly. Directions: answer the following questions. What patterns or characteristics did you notice among terrestrial plants and animals? Very good. Terrestrial plants and animals typically have adaptations for life on land, such as strong roots or limbs for support, and features to conserve water like thick leaves or fur. Can you identify any specific adaptations that help these organisms live on land? Specific adaptations that help terrestrial organisms live on land include deep root systems in plants for water absorption. Think waxy leaves to reduce water loss, and limbs or legs in animals for movement and support. Why do you think terrestrial habitats are important for these plants and animals? You're right, terrestrial habitats are important for these plants and animals because they provide the necessary resources such as food, shelter, and space that are essential for their growth, survival, and reproduction. Why is it important to study and understand terrestrial habitats? You're right, studying and understanding terrestrial habitats is important because it helps us protect ecosystems, conserve biodiversity, and ensure the survival of the plants and animals that depend on them. How can we identify whether a plant or animal lives in a terrestrial habitat or not? You're right, we can identify whether a plant or animal lives in a terrestrial habitat by observing its adaptations, such as root structures, limbs, or body coverings, and noting whether it is typically found on land rather than in water or air. What are some common characteristics or features that terrestrial plants and animals might have in order to survive on land? You're right, terrestrial plants and animals often have features like strong roots or limbs, waterproof coverings, and structures for conserving water to survive on land. Can you name any specific adaptations that help certain organisms thrive in terrestrial habitats? Exactly. The specific adaptations that help organisms thrive in terrestrial habitats include deep roots for water absorption in plants, thick skin or fur for temperature regulation in animals, and waxy leaves to prevent water loss. As you sort the pictures, what criteria or observations are you using to determine if an organism is terrestrial? You're right. To determine if an organism is terrestrial, we observe its physical adaptations, such as root structure for plants and limb development for animals, as well as its typical habitat and behavior. Are there any surprises or interesting discoveries you've made while classifying the pictures? This could be the possible answer. An interesting discovery while classifying the pictures is that some organisms like turtles and crocodiles can live in both terrestrial and aquatic habitats, showcasing their adaptability. How do terrestrial habitats benefit the overall ecosystem and biodiversity? You're right. Terrestrial habitats benefit the overall ecosystem and biodiversity by providing essential resources, supporting diverse life forms, and maintaining ecological balance through interactions among plants, animals, and their environment. Terrestrial plants and animals live on land. These organisms have adaptations like roots or limbs for support on land. They often have thick leaves to prevent water loss. Terrestrial animals walk, run, or burrow. Non-terrestrial plants and animals live in water or air. These organisms have features for swimming, floating, or flying. These plants may have adaptations for buoyancy or water absorption. Non-terrestrial animals may swim or fly. For day 3, answer the following questions. Why is it important for scientists and environmentalists to understand and classify different types of habitats? You're right. It is important for scientists and environmentalists to understand and classify different types of habitats to effectively protect ecosystems, manage the biodiversity, and develop conservation strategies. How might knowledge of these habitat-related terms help us protect and conserve ecosystems and the species that live in them? Very good. Knowledge of habitat-related terms helps us protect and conserve ecosystems and species by enabling targeted conservation efforts, informing management practices, and enhancing our understanding of the relationships between organisms and their environments. Let's have activity number 2, Aquatic Habitat Adventure. That is good for 30 minutes. Its objective to help students understand the concept of aquatic habitats and their characteristics by exploring different plant and animal species found in these habitats. To develop an appreciation for the unique characteristics of aquatic habitats. To introduce the concept of UNESCO's Sustainable Development Goals, SDG number 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, and SDG number 14, Life Below Water. Here are the materials needed: pictures or drawing of aquatic animals and plants from various aquatic habitats. It could be oceans, rivers, lakes, and ponds. Large posters or drawings representing each aquatic habitat, markers, and labels. Instructions: in this activity, you will explore different aquatic habitats and the plant and animal species that live in them. Work in your assigned groups and use the provided images to decide which aquatic habitat each species belongs to. Write the name of the species and habitat on the lines provided. Write your group, the aquatic species, For number 1, seahorse, habitat. Trout, and identify its habitat. Number 3, coral. Number 4, lily pad. Number 5, dolphin. 6, algae. 7, crocodile. 8, clownfish. 9, seaweed. 10, water lily. Write true if the statement Directions. Write true if the statement is correct and false if not. Number 1. Terrestrial habitats include environments like forests, grasslands, and deserts. Number 2. Aquatic habitats are only found in freshwater environments, such as lakes and rivers. Number 3. Climate has no effect on the types of plants and animals that can live in terrestrial habitats. Number 4. Aerial habitats are primarily utilized by animals that can fly, such as birds and flying insects. Number 5. Aquatic plants like algae are important for producing oxygen, which is essential for fish and other aquatic animals. Let us now check. The correct answer for number 1 is true. 2, false. Number 3, false. Number 4, true. And number 5, true. For activity number 3, Sky High Scavenger Hunt, good for 30 minutes. Objective, to help students understand the concept of aerial habitats and their characteristics by exploring different plant and animal species found in these habitats. To develop an appreciation for the unique characteristics of aerial habitats and sky-dwelling organisms. To introduce the concept of UNESCO's Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 15, Life on Land, and SDG 13, Climate Action. Materials needed: a list of clues or riddles, prepared by the teacher describing organisms found in aerial habitats, images or illustrations of aerial habitat organisms, small prizes or stickers, and these are optional. Instructions: in this scavenger hunt, you will be given a list of clues or riddles. Each clue will describe an organism that inhabits aerial habitats, such as the sky, trees, or other high places. Your task is to identify and match each organism with the corresponding images or illustrations provided. Work with your partner or group to find the organisms described in the clues. You can search for information in books or materials provided by your teacher, or you can explore the classroom to find images of the organisms. Read each clue carefully and look at the images. Try to identify the organism that matches the description. Write the name of the organism next to the corresponding clue number. Once you have completed the scavenger hunt and identified all the organisms, return to the class as a group. For number 1, clues. I am known for my bright colors and can often be seen fluttering among flowers. People love to watch me in their gardens. Who am I? You're right. The correct answer is butterfly. Number 2, I am a majestic bird known for my large wingspan and soaring flights in the sky. People often associate me with freedom. What am I? You're right. The correct answer is eagle. Number 3. I am a small, buzzing insect that collects nectar from flowers. You might hear my distinctive sound when I fly by. What insect am I? Exactly. It is a bee. Number 4. I am a type of primate that loves to swing from tree to tree in the forest canopy. I have a prehensile tail and it helps me with this. Who am I? You're right. The answer is monkey. And for number 5, I am a flying mammal that comes out at night. Some people call me a flying fox because of my large wings. What kind of creature am I? Very good. It is a bat. Number 6. I am a reptile that glides from tree to tree in tropical forests. My skin has a unique pattern and I'm known for my bright colors. What kind of reptile am I? You're right. It could be a chameleon. I am a small songbird that builds intricate nests high in trees. People enjoy listening to my melodious singing. What kind of bird am I? Very good. It could be a sparrow. Answer the questions below. In your group, discuss the organisms you identified during the scavenger hunt. Share interesting facts or characteristics about each one. Why do you think it's important to learn about organisms that inhabit aerial habitats? How do these creatures contribute to the balance in the ecosystem? How do we protect aerial habitats to conserving the ecosystems and preserve biodiversity and contribute to SDG number 15, or Life on Land, and SDG number 13, which is the Climate of Action? Let's now proceed with the formative assessment. We have multiple choice questions. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. Number 1. What type of habitat do plants and animals living in the ocean belong to? A. Terrestrial, B. Aquatic, C. Aerial, D. Arboreal. Number 2. Which habitat includes forest, grasslands, and deserts? A. Aquatic, B. Aerial, C. Terrestrial, D. Subterranean. Number 3. Where can you typically find a penguin? A. In the air, B. In the trees, C. In the ocean, D. In a desert. Number 4. Which of the following animals is best suited for a terrestrial habitat? A. Dolphin, B. Kangaroo, C. Penguin, D. Seagull. Number 5. What type of habitat would you associate with a butterfly? A. Terrestrial, B. Aquatic, C. Aerial, D. Arboreal. Number 6. Frogs are commonly found in which type of habitat? A. Aerial, B. Aquatic, C. Terrestrial, or D. Polar. Number 7. What kind of habitat includes ponds, lakes, and rivers? A. Terrestrial, B. Aerial, C. Aquatic, D. Arboreal. Number 8. Where would you find animals like squirrels and rabbits? A. In the ocean, B. In the sky, C. On land, B. Underground. Number 9. What habitat is characterized by a lack of trees and very little precipitation? A. Aerial, B. Terrestrial, C. Aquatic, D. Subterranean. Number 10. Which habitat is primarily associated with birds and insects? Number 11. What type of habitat is a coral reef considered? Number 12. Where would you most likely find animals with gills and fins? (13) What is the primary habitat of a polar bear? Number 14. What habitat type includes animals like eagles and hawks? Number 15. Where would you expect to see camel in its natural habitat? Number 16. What type of habitat includes lakes, rivers, and oceans? (17) Which habitat type includes plants like lily pads and animals like frogs? Number 18. Which of the following animals is best suited for an aerial habitat? Number 19. What type of habitat do you associate with a hermit crab? Number 20. Where do you find animals that breathe through gills and live in the water? Let us now answer. For number 1, the correct answer is letter B, aquatic. 2, C, terrestrial. Number 3, C, in the ocean. Number 4, letter B, kangaroo. Number 5, letter C, aerial. Number 6, it's letter B, aquatic. Number 7, it's letter C, aquatic. Number 8, it's letter C, on land. Number 9, it's letter B, terrestrial. Number 10, it's letter A, terrestrial. Number 11, it's letter A, aquatic. Number 12, it's letter C, in water. Number 13, it's letter C, aquatic. Number 14, it's letter A, aerial. Number 15, it's letter C, in the desert. 16, letter C, aquatic. 17, letter B, aquatic. 18, letter B, albatross. 19, it's letter C, aquatic. And number 20, it's letter D, in water.